Hi everyone, in today's lesson we're going to talk about how to convert from radian to degree and vice versa. What radian is it's simply another way to represent an angle measure. And an angle's measurement in radians is numerically equal to the length of the corresponding arc of the unit circle. Now, this may seem a little bit confusing right now, and we'll elaborate on that a little bit, but I just want to talk about what a radian is and how to convert it to a degree. And I want you to think of radian kind of just like inches and feet. Okay? There are 12 inches in 1 foot, and that's the conversion. So I'm going to give you the conversion. The conversion is that 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. Okay? That is the conversion, just like 3 feet is equal to 1 yard and 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. That is the conversion. Now, there's a conclusion that can be drawn from this. So let's just write here 180 equals pi radians. Okay? We could divide by pi if we'd like. By doing so, we conclude that 180 over pi is equal to 1 radian. Okay? We're mainly going to use this fact, but this is helpful as well. So, let's convert from radians to degrees. So, for example, what we are going to do is we are going to take this pi over 2 radians and turn it into degrees. So, the best way to do it is to multiply by 180 over pi, or you could plug in that 180 is equal to pi, right? Pi radians is 180 degrees. So the general rule is pi over 2 times 180 over pi. Now what's great about this is that we're multiplying, so we can cross simplify, so these cancel out. I'm left with 180 on top, 2 on the bottom, so I get 90 degrees. Okay, let's do number 2. Take 3 pi over 2, times it by 180 over pi. Now the pi's are going to cancel because they're opposites. And now we can just multiply what's left. 3 times 180, which is 540, all over 2. And if you do that, you get 270 degrees. Okay, now 2 pi radians. We could take 2 pi and multiply it by 180 over pi. The pi's will cancel. We're left with 2 times 180, which is 360 degrees. Okay? Why don't you see if you can do 4, 5, and 6, and hit resume when you're finished. Okay, here are your answers. Okay, so number 4 should have been straightforward, and you should have gotten 60 degrees. Now, number 5 and 6 could have thrown you for a loop because the pi was in the middle, but remember, the pi in the middle is the same thing as it being in the numerator, right? So that's where I put it, never in the denominator. Okay, so this is the math, and these are the 3 answers. Okay, so now with 7, 8, and 9, I needed to specify what to round to. So for these, let's say round to the nearest 10th, okay? Because I'm not going to be able to cross anything out. There are no pi's. It just says 3 radians. So we're going to take 3 and multiply it by 180 over pi. We're going to take negative 2 and multiply it by 180 over pi. And 4 and multiply it by 180 over pi. These are all over 1. Alright, so same concept as before. Now we're going to multiply. 3 times 180. We get 540. Over pi. Negative 2, I'm doing the second one now, times 180 over pi is negative 360 over pi. 4 times 180 is 720 over pi. But we need to put this into degrees. I can't leave a degree with a pi here. So we're going to put literally into the calculator 540 divided by pi. And we should get 171.89 degrees. Oh, I know I said 10th, but I already wrote it. So we'll leave it like that. Now I'd like you to put this in the calculator and this in the calculator and get me 2 answers rounded properly, unlike me, to the nearest 10th. All right, and I'll check those tomorrow. let's move on to the back, please. Okay, now I'm going to go from degree to radian. So the rule of thumb is you kind of want pi in the answer. I want to go to radian. So we're going to multiply by pi over 180. Okay, any top with any bottom can cancel. So this one is pi. Okay, pi radians. Okay. Number 2, again, multiply by pi over 180. Put this over 1. Multiply tops with tops. 45 times pi is 45 pi over 180. Okay, now we can simplify. 45 divided by 180 in the calculator. So pause the video and put 45 over 180 and then hit math, enter, enter. You should get 1/4. So 1/4 pi is the same thing as saying pi over 4. Okay, number 3, 60. If I want to change it to radians, I'm going to multiply this by pi over 180. Put this over 1. Multiply tops, bottoms. So 60 pi over 180. Now, let's put this in the calculator. 60 out of 180. Do not put the pi in the calculator. Okay, just 60 out of 180. Math, enter, enter. You should get 1/3 pi. Okay, so 1/3 pi, or more properly written, pi over 3. Okay, let's see if we could do 4, 5, and 6. All right, now 4. Just because it's negative doesn't mean anything. It just means we're going to have a negative angle. So we're going to multiply this by pi over 180, just like before. Put this over 1. Multiply tops. Multiply bottoms. Now put this into the calculator, again without the pi. So pause the video until you've done so, and give me a reduced fraction. Alright, so you should get 5 pi over 18. Negative 5 pi over 18. Okay, see if you can do 5 and 6, and we're going to skip 7, 8, and 9. I don't think that applies to us. Alright, so try 5 and 6 for homework, and I will check them tomorrow. Have a good night.